Okay, so 7.2, volume of a prism. Our content objective for today is I can use a formula to determine the volume of a right rectangular prism. Our second one is I can use a formula to determine the volume of a right triangular prism. And our language objective for today is I can explain the differences between finding the volume of a rectangular prism and a triangular prism. Now, last time we looked at how to find the volume of a rectangular prism, but we just looked at the basic thing right here. The area of the base times the height of the prism. Now, last time we always gave you the area of the base. Now, we're going to look at today is actually finding what the area of the base is, then multiplying it by our height of the prism. So when we look at this, volume equals the area of the base times the height of the prism. So that is really saying is volume equals, well, our area of the base, you know, in a rectangular prism, area is length times width times the height of the prism. So we find the area here of the base, it's length times width, times our height of the prism, which is 4. So really our formula just becomes volume equals length times width times height. That's it. So when we look over here at our example, we've got a length of 2, a width of 3, and a height of 4. So let's try to find the volume for this example. So we know that volume equals the area of the base, which is our length times width, as you can see right here, times the height of the prism. Well, let's map this out. Volume equals the area of the base times the height. So our area of our base is going to be length times width times our height. Our length here is 2 centimeters. Our width is 3 centimeters. And our height is 4 centimeters. Oops, a little messy there. Now we do the work. Well, 2 centimeters times 3 centimeters we know is going to be 6 centimeters and squared because we've got centimeter times a centimeter. And we're multiplying that by 4 centimeters. And we know that that then equals 24, because 6 times 4 is 24 centimeters. And if you look over here again, centimeters squared times a centimeter, that's 3 centimeters total, which gives us cubed. So the answer is 24 centimeters cubed. Now, you also could have done it this way, which would have worked equally as well. And I'll just do it right here. You could have just done the formula. Volume equals length times width times height. Volume equals 2 centimeters times 3 centimeters times 4 centimeters. And just multiply them together. 2 times 3 times 4 still would give us 24. And we would have centimeters times centimeters times centimeters, which is centimeters cubed. Okay, so example 2. So you can write this down, pause it, and play when you want to watch the solution. Okay, so really, with this again, we're just going to use our formula. So we got our volume equals area of the base multiplied by the height, which our real formula then becomes volume equals length times width times height. Our volume here, our length, is going to be 8.5 meters times 7 meters times 2 meters is our height. Our volume then becomes 60 meters squared multiplied by 2 meters. When we multiply those together, we get 120 meters cubed, because again, meters times meters times meters, we have 1, 2, 3 becomes meters cubed. So our final answer is that, and again, you could have just done it the same way as 8.5 meters times 7 meters times 2 meters equals 120 meters cubed. So now the volume of a right triangular prism. Well, we know from before the volume equals the area of the base times the height of the prism. Now in this it changes a bit because we know to find the area of the base, it's always the shape, first of all. That's the base, is the shape of the prism, which is a triangle. So we're looking here, we got our bases here and here, times the height of the prism. Well, when it was rectangular prisms, we did our area of the base, which was length times width. But because this is a triangle base, we know that won't work we have to do the area of a triangle, which, as we know, is base times height of the triangle divided by 2. So that gives us the volume equals base times height of the triangle divided by 2, don't forget that, multiplied by the height of the prism, which can be simplified down into a formula of V equals base times height divided by 2 multiplied by height. So let's take a look at this one, for example. So we got our volume equals base times height divided by 2 times height. So let's write down what we know. We know our base, as we can see right here, because whatever is down here will also be up here. So our base then becomes 3 centimeters multiplied by our height, which is we can see right here, because it's not the height of the prism, it's the height of the triangle. So that is 2.6 meters divided by 2 multiplied by our height of the prism, as it says there, which is 9 meters. And that's really important to remember, is that yes, we're using the term base and height twice here, but you got to remember that that first part here is the base times height divided by 2 of the shape, the triangle, right? And the height of the prism is the entire prism, so don't confuse the two heights. Now when we do our work here, we've got 3 times 2.6, which actually ends up becoming 7.8. And then when we divide it by 2, we get a total of 3.9. And sorry, I got ahead of myself there. Now we have 3.9 meters, as we know, squared, times 9 meters. Well, to finish that off, 3.9 times 9 meters becomes 35.1 meters, and as we know, it's cubed. And this one, there's also a faster way when we look at it. Oops, I don't want to move those around. I'd like to draw here. So really, you could also do it as volume equals base times height, and divide it all by 2 in the end. So let's see if this works. Our base was 3 meters times our height of our there is 2.6 times 9 divided by 2. Let's see what we get. 3 times 2.6 times 9 equals 70.2. And if we divide that by 2, we get, guess what, 35.1 meters cubed. So both of these methods would work. One is good for you to really understand the basics of, which is this, looking at how to really find it. The other one kind of simplifies it down into just being base times height divided by 2. Both work. You pick the method that you like the best. Last example here. We've got 140 meters as the height, 260 as the base, and 400 meters as the height of the prism. So you can pause here and hit play when you want to watch the solution. Okay, so just like before, I'm going to write down my formula. So volume equals base times height divided by 2 times the height of the prism. Volume equals, my base is 260 meters, times my height of my prism, which is 140 meters, times the height of my entire thing, which is 400 meters. Volume equals, well, when we do 260 times 140, oops, and I forgot to divide by 2 up here. But I keep that going there. Volume equals 260 times 140, which gives us an answer of 36,400 meters squared, divided by 2 times 400 meters. When we divide that by 2, we get an answer of 18,200 meters squared, multiplied by 400 meters. Now we've got our area of our base, which again, we know that the bases are always the shapes, or our triangle. Our triangle is 18,200 meters, or multiplied by the height of our prism, which is 400, which gives us a final answer of 7,280,000 meters cubed. And again, this could have also worked by saying volume equals our base times our height times our height, and then dividing it all by 2. And just to show you that it works, 260 meters times 140 meters times 400 meters divided by 2. When we do that all, we get 260 times 140 times 400 equals divided by 2 for a final answer of 7,280,000. So, two different ways to do it. This way is probably the better way out of the two, just because it breaks it down step by step for you. This way, if you understand how it works, you can also try that way as well, but pick the way that works best for you. That's it for today, so look forward to our assignments tomorrow.